Hey everybody, today we'll be taking a look at a game that I've been waiting for to come out, and that game is none other than Pressure. Pressure is a game made by Urban Shade Halo Division, in which it acts like Doors, but with its own twist on the genre of going through rooms. In this game, you have to go through over 100 different rooms that vary in different environments, monsters, and a lot more. So, let's just jump right into it. When you first join the game, you are presented with some backstory saying that you are a criminal and are being used to retrieve some kind of crystal. There is a high risk of death, but if you manage to bring it back, you'll be pardoned for your crimes and will receive in cash. You are expendable. You're not meant to return. They know what will happen to you if they send you in, but it doesn't matter to them. After you're done with the text, you'll be put into this lobby that looks amazing. The devs really put a lot of work into this game to make it look good. Hop in one of these pods and you'll be sent into the main game. When you're in the game, there will be a quick shop for you to buy from. This won't show up in your first run though. You'll need a currency called kroner, which could be attained by the end of your runs depending on how well you did. You'll be dropped off, and from here the game teaches you a little bit about crouching and locked doors. The game is also kind for making it possible to find more than one keycard in a room. As you play through the game, you'll find things that you could collect like data and items. The data will be used for later, and the items you find are extremely helpful later on. You're mostly going to be finding light sources, but still, it's going to be very useful. I think one issue that will reoccur for a lot of players is how dark the game gets. Yes, the game gets pretty dark, and not having a light source in these situations isn't ideal. I think the game is kind of generous for players that do scavenge. On most runs, you will find a light source, and if you do stay in the dark for too long, the red lights will come on shedding light. You will also go through different environments like going through water, vents, solving puzzles, and a whole new part of the facility. These points of the game keep the game more refreshing than just one linear environment. The sound design in this game is incredible. The sound change of walking through puddles, going through vents, keep the game immersive. There are even some references to other games and areas like the Before the Dawn's loot crate system. The game's soundtrack is very nice. It feels very somber and fitting moments we'll get into. As you progress, you will come across different monsters that could appear. Your first encounter will be a monster called Angler. And for the first encounter, there'll be text telling you something is off. Angler works exactly like Rush. Hiding in a locker or somewhere out of the way of its path is how you deal with them. If you hide in the locker for too long, you will be kicked out. The next encounters will not have that text appear again. You need to pay attention to the lights and use audio cues to tell if something is coming. Puddles of void mass will hide in a locker. You can see if it's in there from the purple eyes and audible breathing. In single player, if you go into the locker, you'll be dragged in and instantly die. In multiplayer, if someone goes into the locker, one of the players must help them get out. Infestation will force your camera to look at it, and as you look at it, you will get hurt. If you use a flash beacon on it, it will become angry and make things a lot harder, and also it's going to be angry for the rest of the run. There will be some rooms where you are forced to survive infestation for a short amount of time. Hiding in a locker will not continue the countdown, so you just need to keep moving your mouse away. Squiddles will appear in the dark, and if you shine light on them, they will jump scare you and they will chunk up your health. You also cannot stand near them for very long, even if you don't have a light on. Good people will appear if there's a choice between multiple doors to go through. You'll need to listen for breathing on the other side to see if it's in that room. If you go into that room, you'll be struck by it dealing a lot of damage. The same thing can happen with locked doors as well. Pandemonium will appear normally like Angler, but however, if you're in a locker, Pandemonium will initiate a minigame where you need to keep your cursor in the middle. The intense music makes this very alarming, like you're fighting for your life, because you are. After a bit, Pandemonium will go away. There is a way to evade their encounter, but I haven't gone to that. My guess would be just to stay in a connecting room and out of the line of sight. Wall dwellers are the most unsettling monsters so far. When a player enters a new room, they have a chance to spawn in the room before. They will follow the player and ambush them when they get close enough. You can hear their footsteps, and it's just freaky. It's like there's another player in the game. To scare them away, you just need to look at them, and if an angler comes by, it will kill the wall dweller, and you can eat their corpse. Yeah, there are variants of the Angler, like Blitz, where it goes by extremely fast, Chain Smoker, where it's very slow, but you can't stay in a locker for very long, Frogger, where it will pass by and then come back until it passes you by for good. And Pinky, where it will randomly spawn and does not trigger the lights flickering. You need to rely on audio cues for this one. And this guy will end a lot of runs. When you die to whatever monster, you'll be presented with someone who we'll get into shortly. He will provide you with documents of what monster killed you, and also provide snarky comedic comments on your death.
I'm very impressed. Womp womp. What happened? So close.
Each time you die to a specific monster, the documents will show more background of said monster. I really like how they presented this. It feels very clean, and it's a great way to learn and show about each monster. At around rooms 40 to 60, you'll hear someone want you to come in as he removes the vent. He is called Sebastian, and also the reason you play this game. He is voiced by none other than Gianni, aka Gabriel from Ultra Kill. Sebastian will provide you with items and batteries in exchange for the data you've been collecting. These items, These items are mostly going to be light sources, but there are a couple that aren't, like the code breacher, which acts like a key card, and a med kit to heal yourself. There are also his documents you can buy, which will tell you a lot more about him when you get back to the lobby. He'll also lend you a key card on the desk for the next room, and also has some funny dialogue.
Get out! Bye. Stop. Just stop. Come back when you're a little richer.
In an upcoming room, you are required to fix these generators to move ahead. To fix these generators, you need to do these skill checks. Just click when the arrow is in the shown part. This part is literally just Dead by Daylight, but this is important for the upcoming milestone. You'll reach a huge room and a cutscene plays showing that when the lights spot something, it takes it. This part is anxiety inducing. You need to go around the room fixing generators while trying to not get spotted by searchlights. You can hide under crates or in lockers to get out of the way. If you are spotted, it's an instant kill.
Mark, no! No, I got him!
The task number increases depending on how many players are in your server. When all required generators are fixed, at least one player needs to head to the doors that open, and it will teleport everybody in the area. Make your way to door 100, where you are told to find and secure the crystal. The music kicks in with more suspense as it builds up to this moment. You go through a cutscene where the crystal is being stored away and the power goes offline. Now, you need to go through many doors, starting with the door that has the green light illuminated. This part of the game gets challenging. There is almost always an encounter at every door, and you'll hear radios. If you stay too long listening to the radio, you will die. I find it better to have more of a constant light going on than using something that lasts for a few seconds and having to charge it back up. When you make it to the end, you have one last task to do. You need to go into the water and fix the cables. The atmosphere of this section is incredible. Everything here looks really good. Oh yeah, and your old friend is going to keep you busy as well. The music cuts into this breakcore song, making this more intense. You have to hide under the trenches or under debris to avoid detection. The cables themselves are fairly fast to repair, but after a few have been repaired, the music changes and a second searchlight has spawned in. If you thought one was bad, this is going to make things more difficult. A couple more get repaired, and yep, a third one spawns. Just take your time and wait for opportunities to repair the cables. After all of them are fixed, swim down to power the cannon and you'll soon hear explosions. Head back to the site, but to get there, you still need to get past these searchlights by taking your time. Once you get past that, there's one more searchlight after you, but then it gets squashed suddenly. That whole section was incredible, and it's also very stressful. Once you're out there, evacuate from the submarine. You're then presented with a ton of text stating the aftermath of the evacuation, and that's the end. I think it's a phenomenal game, and really shifts the gears of these Doors-like games. There are a lot of different things that could happen in the game too, like a ton of Easter eggs, loot boxes, rare encounters, and other encounters.
Yoink!
But those have a very rare chance of occurring and are mostly for fun. There is a revive mechanic where you can either pay 30 Robux or Chromer in the lobby for ferryman tokens, and you can use these pretty late into the game. Reaching the end of the game is not all. There's still a lot more to this game than just reaching the end. In conclusion, Pressure is a masterpiece of a game. It finds a whole new way to make this genre more thrilling. From the immersive sound designs to the amazing builds and models, this game has a lot going for it. Almost all of the monsters have unique mechanics that make the game more diverse and interesting as you play it. The more climatic parts of the game are incredibly well done. They know how to build intensity and make the player anxious. The game isn't easy, but I think it's the right amount of difficulty for a game like this. There is a great amount of replayability, and you can always go for the bashes to unlock something. Also, challenge yourself more or go out and fight Easter eggs and secrets. Halo Division, you've done it. You made an outstanding game that definitely deserves all the praise.